Guys, what's up? So today for this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to change your oil filter, air filter, fuel filter, spark plugs, and how to grease your John Deere L130 tractor. So let's get into it. So this here is I believe it's a 2004 John Deere L130. It has a 23 horsepower Kohler engine in it. And this is what we are going to be doing maintenance for since it is spring. It has the 48-inch cutting deck on it. So let's get into this. Here we have the air filter. We have 3 quarts of 10W30 oil. We have the oil filter, the fuel filter, and the 2 spark plugs. Okay, so you're gonna get an oil pan, put it right here where the oil will come out at. You will twist it and pull it out, and then the oil will start to come out into the pan. And to take out the oil filter, which is right here, I want to get a wrench, oil wrench, or filter wrench, I'm not really sure what it's called. Loosen it up, and you'll eventually be able to do it with my hand. And this is the old oil filter. You can just throw this out or do whatever you want with it. While you're waiting for the oil to drain out, I'm just going to go ahead and take out the spark plug. There's 2 spark plugs on it. There's one up here, and then there's one over on the other side. So you're just going to take off this little cap, and you're going to get a socket. This is a 5/8 socket. It's a special socket for spark plugs. You put it in there. Twist it just like you would any other socket. There you go, there's the old spark plug. And you just do the same thing on the other side. You are going to then take your spark plug, put it back in there, screw it in a little bit, take your same socket that you used earlier, and you're going to just tighten it back up. And you're going to do the same thing on both sides. You have your new filter. Take it out of the box. You will want to take some oil, put some on your finger, and go around this gasket right here. That just helps to lubricate it. After you do that, you want to screw it back on here. Alright, so after you put the fuel filter back on, you can go ahead and cap this back up, your oil drain, put that back on, twist it over. There you go. Now, for putting the oil back in, you come around to the other side of the tractor. You're going to want, it takes about 2 quarts of 10W30 oil. What you're going to do is just this little thing right here, little cap, you're going to unscrew it, pull that out. Pull the dipstick out, put that down, open up your oil, So for the second quart, you're just want to put in about half of it, so then that way you start it and it'll go in through the filter. So we're just going to put in about half of this one to start with. Okay, so that's about half. So then what you're going to do is put the dipstick back in. Then you're going to want to start it. Alright, so after you start it, then you're going to want to take your dipstick back out. And this only takes about 1.9 quarts, so you're just gonna not want to dump in the entire thing of it. Okay, so that should be good. Then you're going to want to put your dipstick back in. And there you go. That's the oil change. Okay, now we're going to be changing the air filter. So the air filter is under this cover right here. When you get to it, you're just going to want to unscrew this. Okay, and then you just take it off. You have it unscrewed. Then right in here is your filter. Just gonna take that off. That's the old one. And we're going to go and get the new one, put it on. Alright, you're also going to want to take off this outside cover here too. So you just unscrew this wing nut. Take that off. And we'll go get the new one. Alright, so you have the new filter here, so you're going to want to take this cover and put this back on there like that. And then put it back on in here. And take your wing nut and screw it back on. And make sure it's nice and tight. Then you're going to want to take this part here, and put it back on here. Alright, there you go, that's back on then. Okay, and then after you have that on, you're just going to want to take your cover, put it back on, screw it back on. And that is how you change the air filter. Okay, so now we are going to grease it. So there's these grease points. There's one right there, and then there is also one that's right back in here. You can see it's right back in there, and it's the same thing over on the other wheel. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, and to grease it, you're just going to want to take your grease gun, put the fitting right here onto the air filter. It, grease it until you start seeing grease come out the bottoms. And you're just going to do that to every grease point. And that's how you grease it. Alright, so now we are going to be replacing the fuel filter. To start this off, I just want to say this is gas, so don't be smoking around it or lighting your workplace with candles or anything stupid like that. So first what you're going to want to do is just clamp off this hose right here so gas doesn't start leaking out of that end there. And that's what first step you're going to want to do. Alright, then what you're going to want to do is there's these little clamps here on the end of these hoses. You're going to want to take the pliers and just squeeze those together. Take those off, just pull it back, and pull out the hose. And again, there will be gas leaking out of it. So. Then you're going to want to do the same thing over here. Gas shouldn't come out of this end since we have it clamped down. Might have to remove this clamp back. Okay, so now that you have your new fuel filter, you're going to just want to place it back in. It goes like that. You're going to then want to take your pliers, take it, clamp it back. Back on. And you can take this off. And you have just replaced, and that's how you replace the fuel filter. Thank you guys for watching this video on John Deere L130 maintenance. We were able to change the oil filter, the air filter, the fuel filter, the spark plugs, and we greased the front axle. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like, and thanks for watching.